Good morning. Welcome to the Palmasola Softball Complex here in Bradenton, Florida. It is day number 2 of the playoffs of the 2026 Florida Gulf Coast League. I'm Tom Canterbury. Thank you so much for joining us for this matchup in the single elimination tournament in the quarterfinals, featuring the number 4 seed Manatee Squeeze and the Cinderella number 12 seed DeSoto Queens. Here is the starting lineup for the Queens. They are 7-10 overall. They've won 2 games here in the postseason. They won 2 yesterday to make this run into the quarterfinals for head coach Ashley Trierweiler. Leading things off is the shortstop, Lauren Fox, with Riley McKinney. Right field batting second, Gwen Hall. Left field bats third, Keegan Mayhew. First base batting fourth, Hope Jordan catching, batting fifth. Ashlyn Van Meter, the center fielder, bats sixth. Batting seventh is Jamie Sepsick, the third baseman. Sophia Spangler will pitch and bat eighth, and Cassie Securo, the second baseman, will bat ninth. And they're facing for the Squeeze, the right-handed sophomore out of Mississippi State. She's in the transfer portal, Sarah Phillips. First pitch is in there for a called strike, and we are underway. Phillips, in the regular season, made 12 appearances for the Squeeze, pitched 35 and a third innings. 5-3 the record, 29 runs allowed, 27 earned for a .535 ERA. That bunt is popped up in foul ground, and Brooke Massengale unable to make the catch. From behind the plate, no balls and 2 strikes. 48 hits, 19 strikeouts, 22 walks, 198 the whip. As a team, through 15 games in the regular season, the Squeeze pitched 98 and 2/3 innings, allowed 77 runs, 67 earned for a .475 team ERA. That pitch to Fox misses for ball 1. In the playoffs, and this is the third game for the Queens, the first for the Squeeze, who had the bye yesterday. In the playoffs, Fox is 3 of 7, 3 runs scored, 2 RBIs with a double and 3 walks. And that one's well hit to center field. On the run and making a diving catch is Elise Crescio for out number 1. The Squeeze All-Star makes a diving catch to start things off for Rayleigh McKinney. The defense alignment for the Squeeze: Evans in left, Crescio in center, St. Jean in right, Young at third, Johnson at short, O'Connell at second, Segura at first, Massengale behind the plate, catching Phillips, and Green, the DP. First pitch is a strike. McKinney in the playoffs, batting .400, 4 of 10, 4 runs scored, 2 runs driven in, a homer and a double. It's a fly ball to right. Calling everyone off, and making the catch is St. Jean, and there's 2 away. So now 2 out, nobody on for Gwen Hall, whose triple in the 7th inning tied things up against the Skeeters in the opening round. First pitch is a strike. In the playoffs, Hall is 3 of 8, batting .375, 4 runs scored, 3 runs driven in, has 2 homers, and that triple, along with a walk. Overall, regular season and playoffs combined, the Queens now hitting .237 as a team. They've scored 59 runs now in 17 games. Team on base percentage of .339. And all those numbers have improved from their regular season total during this run. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Hall. Yesterday, the Queens beat the Skeeters 10-9 with a 4-run comeback in the bottom of the 7th inning, and then it was another nail-biter. That's a fly ball to right field. St. Jean will make the catch for out number 3. And in game number 2 in the second round, the Queens beat the Circus 10-9 in 8 innings. Here they go down 1-2-3 in the top of the first. We head to the bottom of the first inning. No score between the Queens and the Squeeze. This is the FGCL. This is the playoffs. We head to the bottom of the first inning. No score between the Queens and the Squeeze. And here is the starting lineup for the number 4 seed, Manatee Squeeze, making their playoff debut after getting the bye yesterday into the quarterfinals and being a top 4 seed in the final FGCL standings. 10-5 in the regular season under head coach Taylor Pinnell. Leading things off is the center fielder, Elise Crescio. Hannah Evans, left field, batting second. Brooke Massengale, catching, batting third. Madison Green, designated player, bats fourth. Skylar Young, third base, batting fifth. Eliza Johnson, shortstop, batting sixth. Ariana O'Connell, second base, batting seventh. Batting eighth is Lizzie St. Jean, the right fielder, and Ava Segura, the first baseman, will bat ninth. And they'll face in the circle for the Queens, right-hand sophomore out of Pasco Hernando, Sophia Spangler. In the playoffs, Spangler has struggled a bit. She's pitched an inning and 2/3, given up 6 runs. They've all been earned. 6 hits. First pitch, called strike to Elise Crescio. But on the year combined, this is the 15th appearance for Spangler. She's pitched 28 1/3 innings. 2-2 the record, 23 runs allowed, 20 have been earned. A 4.94 ERA, 39 hits, 9 strikeouts to 3 walks. As a team through 17 games, the Queens have a 5.27 ERA. Crescio, fly ball to left, and there's the first out. Now we've seen 4 batters in this game combined, and we've had 4 flyouts. One out now for Hannah Evans. That's a fly ball and foul ground, and it will fall foul for strike 1. Evans, in the regular season, batted .467, 14 of 30, 10 runs scored, 9 runs driven in with a homer and 3 doubles, 5 walks, 2 sac flies for the All-Star. And that's going to get past Fox into center field. Evans will dig for second, and she'll slide in there safely with a hustle double. Fox could not get in front of it. And the Squeeze now have a runner in scoring position with 1 out. For the catcher, Brooke Massengale. Massengale batting .310 in the regular season, 13 of 42. That one's fouled away. 7 runs scored, 7 RBIs with 2 homers, 2 doubles, and 2 walks with a sac fly. As a team, the Squeeze, in 15 regular season games, batted .323, scored 103 runs, and had a .402 on base percentage, as they finished 4th in the league standings. That's fouled off. No balls and 2 strikes. Queens and Squeeze were supposed to play on July 3rd, but that was part of our 2 rainout days. It's foul back. It's on top of the press box here. The one meeting that did get played between these two teams, it was a 9-0 5-inning run rule by the Squeeze over the Queens back on June 25th, day 11 of FGCL play. But we've seen the Queens yesterday with their 2 wins play like a whole new different team. It was a Queens team that had a good first week of the season but struggled since. That's to the backstop. Wild pitch moves the runner to third with 1 away. An opportunity now here for Brooke Massengale to try to give the Squeeze an early lead. Called strike 3 on the inside corner, and there's 2 away. Huge pitch there by Sophia Spengler. And with 2 outs now, that'll bring up the designated player, Madison Green. First pitch fouled away for strike 1. Green, 7 of 30 in the regular season, batted .233, 6 runs scored with 9 RBIs, a homer, 3 doubles, and 2 walks. Blooper up the middle, and a running catch back behind the second base bag by Fox for out number 3. As the Squeeze strand a runner at third base to end the frame for the Squeeze here in the first. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We played an inning, 0-0. Queens and Squeeze. This is the FGCL. This is playoffs. Keegan Mayhew leading things off for the Queens here in the second. 0-0 game between the Queens and the Squeeze here in the quarterfinals. Sarah Phillips back out for her second inning of work. Mayhew is 5 of 9 here in the playoffs. .556 the average, 3 runs scored, 4 runs driven in, has a homer and a double, along with hit by pitch. Combined, regular season and playoffs, Mayhew is batting .382, 13 of 34, 6 runs scored, 11 RBIs with 2 homers, 3 doubles, 5 walks, and hit by pitch. 2-2 the count. That one's a little bit inside, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Phillips, a sophomore at Mississippi State in 2026, where she redshirted. Fly ball to right. St. Jean will track it down and make the catch for the first out of the inning. So 4 flyouts so far for the Queens. So 1 out now for the catcher, Hope Jordan. Overall, Jordan, 2 of 21, 2 runs scored, 2 runs driven in, has a homer, and 4 walks. In the playoffs, she's 0 for 1 with a walk. Queens will rotate 3 different catchers throughout the game. One and one now the count. Day 1 of the playoffs in the opening round, the Impact beat the Sea Cows 6-5 on a walk-off. And it was these Queens over the Skeeters 10-9 in a walk-off. And then in the second round, in a tremendous pitcher's duel, the Snowbirds beat the Rodeo in 8 innings 3-0. And it was the Finns over Loggerheads 9-3. That's fouled off. And in the continuing the second round yesterday, the Impact beat the Aquanauts in an upset 8-6, and it was the Queens over the Circus 10-9. So both teams that had to play twice yesterday won twice to advance to the quarterfinals. Foul tipped in the glove, 4 strike 3. And there's 2 gone here in the second inning. So here is the squeeze in the Queens over on field 2, the number 1 seed and regular season champion Slice taking on the 9 seed Finns. We'll keep you up to date as that one continues. First pitch to Ashlyn Van Meter is a strike. In the noon window, it'll be the 2 seed River Mocs and the 10 seed Snowbirds. Here on field 1, field 2, the Swashbucklers, a 3 seed, take on the 11 seed Impact. Van Meter, 3 of 7 in the playoffs. 3 RBIs on 3 singles and 2 walks. Popped up in foul ground. It will get out of play. Segura gave it a look. Van Meter overall combined 14 of 43, 326 the average. 5 runs scored, 5 RBIs. All her hits have been singles. 5 walks and a hit by pitch. That's a blooper. That's going to be caught by Evans. And that's another 1-2-3 inning pitched by Sarah Phillips. Queens go down in order. We head to the bottom of the second, still 0-0. Queens and Squeeze. This is the FGCL. This is playoffs. We head to the bottom of the second inning, still 0-0 between the Queens and the Squeeze. Squeeze have 5, 6, 7 due up, starting with the third baseman, Skylar Young. Sophia Spangler back out for her second inning of work. First pitch is popped up on the infield. Securo will catch it, and there's one away. Eliza Johnson now steps in. First pitch is a strike. Johnson is 10 of 33, batting .303. 7 runs scored, 4 runs driven in with a homer, a double, and 9 walks in the regular season. That's fouled off. Spangler in the circle, sophomore at Pasco Hernando from Hudson, Florida. Two-way player there, just as she is here for the Queens. In the circle for Pasco Hernando, had a .561 ERA in 2026 and 102 in a third innings pitched. 141 hits, 107 runs, 87 earned, 46 walks, 45 strikeouts, had an 8-9 record. That's a blooper. That's going to fall for a base hit in a shallow center field. And Eliza Johnson is on with 1 out. Just found a spot there right up the middle. Bloops one in, and with 1 out, there's a runner on first for Ariana O'Connell. O'Connell in the regular season, 5 of 36. 15 of 36, excuse me, 15 of 36. 417 the average, 15 runs scored, 14 driven in with 3 doubles, 3 homers, 2 doubles, 4 walks, and a hit by pitch. So again, that noon window, the other quarterfinals here on Field 1, Riverbox and Snowbirds. Field 2, Swashbucklers and Impact. Then here on Field 1 at 2:30, it will be the semifinal featuring the winners of those noon window games, Mock Snowbirds, Swashbucklers, Impact. And on Field 2, it'll be the winners of the current 2 quarterfinal matchups. This matchup here and the Slice and the Fins. Swing and a miss. Counts full, 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Runner on first. Squeeze trying to get on the board in this scoreless matchup. And that's inside for ball 4. So the Squeeze are threatening now here in the second. And Lissy St. Jean will be the batter. St. Jean in the regular season, a .382 batter, 13 of 34. Pulls back the bunt. It's outside for ball 1. 12 runs scored with an RBI, had a triple, and 5 walks. Love to add to that RBI total right here. Called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Over on field 2. They're in the top of the second. And the Finns and the Slice tied up at 2. Fly ball to shallow left. Hall will charge in to make the catch for the second out of the inning. Not sure when over it, but the defensive alignment for the Queens: Hall in left, Van Meter in center, McKinney in right, Sepsic at third, Fox at short, Securo at second, Mayhew at first with Jordan catching. Ava Segura now the batter. Runners on first and second, 2 outs, and the first pitch is fouled away for strike 1. Segura in the regular season batted .282, 11 of 39, 4 runs scored, 6 runs driven in, had a homer, a double, 3 walks, and hit by pitch. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on here in the bottom of the second. And that's going to be caught at shorts by Fox, and the squeeze. Strand 2 here in the second. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 2 left. We played 2. It's still scoreless between the Queens and the squeeze. The CFGCL, this is the playoffs. We head to the third inning in a scoreless game here in the quarterfinals of the FGCL. Due up for the Queens here in the third. 7-8-9, Sepsic, Spengler, and Securo. Sarah Phillips back out for her third inning of work. Starting with Jamie Sepsic. First pitch is a strike. Sepsic, combined playoffs and regular season, batting .200, 6 of 30, 3 runs scored, 3 runs driven in, has a double, and 8 walks. And that one is to third. Young didn't glove it cleanly, but had enough time to recover, make the throw for out number 1. For Sophia Spengler, the pitcher, trying to help her own cause. Combined batting average of .200, 5 of 25, with 2 RBIs on the year, 2 walks, and hit by pitch. Oh for 2 at the plate with a strikeout in the playoffs. First pitch was a strike. That got Spengler. Got her helmet. Is the call, but the squeeze are asking about it. No official challenge there by the Squeeze after an umpire conference. It is decided that Spangler was hit by the pitch. And they'll bring up the second baseman, Cassius Sekiro, the first base runner of the day for the Queens. Fly ball to right. Sekiro will make the catch. No tag, and there's 2 away. So 2 out now, runner on first for the shortstop, Lauren Fox. She's 0 for 1. Had a fly out her first time up. Sophomore at Syracuse in 2026. It's fouled off her foot for strike 1. For the Orange, batted .247, 20 of 81, 6 RBIs, had a double, a triple, 12 runs scored, stole 7 bags. From Commerce Township, Michigan. That one backdoors in for a strike, no balls and 2 strikes. It's in the dirt, 1 and 2. First time through the order, that's as efficient as I've seen Sarah Phillips work this summer. Doing it at the right time for the Squeeze. Single elimination. Every game at this point, win or go home. Championship game coming up tomorrow at 10 o'clock. That'll be on field 2. Ground ball to short, and it takes a bad hop on Johnson. And now runners are on first and second. And that will be the first base hit of the ball game for the Queens. Johnson on the run and with the top spin, and the Palm Solo dirt took a hop on her. So that gives Riley McKinney an opportunity, and that's a nice stop by Johnson at short. She won't have a play, but that diving stop saved a run. And now the bases are loaded with 2 outs following the infield single by McKinney. So 2 out now with the bases loaded, and Gwen Hall with the opportunity. Hall had that triple as talked about with against the Skeeters, and then against the Circus had 2 home runs in playoff. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Hall, a sophomore at McNeese in 2026. Takes a strike on the outside corner, 1-1. From Roland, Arkansas, just outside of Little Rock. For McNeese this past year, batted .273, 9 of 33 with 6 RBIs, had a couple of doubles. It's a little bit high and inside, 2-1. That's popped up in foul ground, third base side, and it will get just out of play. Young, Johnson, and Evans were all converging to give it a look, but it got out of here. So 2 balls and 2 strikes now. In the first real high leverage point of this game. Bases loaded. 2 outs here in the top of the third. 2-2 is high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nowhere to put Hall, and Keegan Mayhew's on deck for the Queens. Payoff pitch. Fly ball to center. The park will hold it. Crescio makes the catch for out number 3, and the Queens strand the bases loaded here in the third. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 3 left. We head to the bottom of the third. Still scoreless. This is the FGCL. This is playoffs. We head to the bottom of the third inning, 0-0 between the Queens and the Squeeze. Top of the order due up for the Squeeze here in the third. Sophia Spangler back out for her third inning of work for the Queens. Elise Crescio at the plate takes first pitch for a called strike. Crescio had a fly out her first time. Crescio, a sophomore at Oregon in 2026, entered the portal and is headed to North Florida. Originally from Jasper, Georgia. Second-year All-Star here for the Squeeze in the FGCL. That's a fly ball to center. Pretty well hit, but underneath it to make the catch is Van Meter for the first out of the inning. One change defensively for the Queens. Ava Metz is now the catcher, replacing Hope Jordan. So 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the third for the left fielder, Hannah Evans, who doubled her first time. First pitch to Evans is popped sky high. Calling everyone off from right field is McKinney, and she'll track it down almost on the infield for out number 2. So 2 out, nobody on now for the catcher, Brooke Massengale. She struck out her first time up. That's a fly ball to center. And 3 up and 3 down for the Squeeze here in the third. On, I believe, 5 pitches. And that's a quick one here in the third inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We head to the fourth. Still scoreless. This is the FGCL. This is the playoffs. We head to the fourth inning, still 0-0 between the Queens and the Squeeze. Due up for the Queens here in the fourth. It's 4-5-6. Sarah Phillips back out for her fourth inning of work. Through 3 innings for the Queens. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 3 left. And it's the exact same line score for the Squeeze. All 3 of their, or for the Queens, and all 3 of their runners left on for the Queens came last inning. They loaded the bases, but with 2 outs, Phillips induced a fly out to get out of the inning. So now Keegan Mayhew will be the batter to lead things off here in the fourth. She fouled out her first time. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Pitcher's duel over here. Not so much over on field 2. That's a fair ball down the left field line. Mayhew will stay at first. Well, that's a leadoff single for Keegan Mayhew. As that line drive over the third base bag threw up chalk for the base hit. And for the first time today, someone has a leadoff man on. And they'll bring up Ava Metz, getting her first at-bat of the day. She came in replacing Hope Jordan. Metz in the playoffs is 0 for 2 with a run scored. She's been hit by a pitch. Overall, batting 192 with with a 5 of 26, 4 runs scored, 3 RBIs, has a double, 6 walks and hit by pitch on the season. Over on field 2, they're in the bottom of the second inning between the Finns and the Slice, and they're tied up at 5. Swung on and missed. 4 strike 3. And there's one gone here in the fourth inning. So over on field 2, both teams in the first inning scored 2 runs, and in the second inning they both scored 3 for a 5-5 matchup. Ashlyn Van Meter now at the plate. The winners of these 2 games will face off in the semifinals at 2:30 today. Over on field 2. Van Meter's 0 for 1. She had a fly out her first time. That's going to get through for a base hit. And now runners are on first and second with 1 out. Queens looking for some production from the bottom of the order now. Jamie Sepsic will be the batter. She grounded out her first time. Got her first extra base hit of the summer yesterday in the playoffs. First pitch is a strike. A freshman at the State College of Florida from Lake Wales, Florida. For the State College of Florida, batted .401 this past year, 67 and 167, 44 RBIs, 2 homers, 11 doubles, and 41 runs scored. Part of that World Series team for SCF. And Sea Cows head coach, Brett Sauerwein. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. That's a touch outside, and the count's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, runners on first and second. And that's high for ball 4. So Sepsic will draw the walk. And for the second straight inning, the Queens have loaded the bases. This time it's with 1 out. And Sophia Spengler with an opportunity to help her own cause. Infield playing in. First pitch. Called strike. One is lined up the middle. That's going to fall for a base hit. Runner now caught between home and third. 1 run has come in. The out is recorded at home, and the runners will advance an extra base. So 1 run does come in, but then Van Meter is retired on the rundown, and it's 1-0 Queens, now with 2 outs. Base runners got kind of just caught up whether or not that ball was going to be caught by Crescio in center field, and that led to an out being recorded, but the Queens had the lead, and the first pitch is inside for ball 1 to Cassie Securo. So the RBI single for Spengler to bring home Mayhew. Van Meter is retired. Sepsic now on third, Spengler on second. Securo is 0 for 1 with the fly out. Called strike, and the count's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ground ball to short, knocked down. Kept on the infield by Johnson, but that'll be an RBI single for Cassie Securo on the infield. Sepsic scores. It's now 2-0 Queens. And Taylor Pinnell is going to come out and talk things over with Phillips. Another good play by Johnson, even though she wasn't able to glove it cleanly. Don't know if she'd been able to throw out a Speedy Securo at first base anyway, but it did keep Spengler at third, keeping the ball in the infield. So the Queens are able to finally capitalize on the base runners. As mentioned, the second straight inning that they've had the bases loaded. Left them loaded in third, but they've scored 2 here in the fourth, looking for more with 2 outs and back to the top of the order, and Lauren Fox. Who's 1 for 2 with a single. Over on field 2, it is now 7-5 Slice as they head to the top of the third. Slice with a 5 spot in the bottom of the second. First pitch high and inside to Lauren Fox. That's in the dirt. Blocked up by Massengale. Phillips look in with a 2-2 count. A little outside. The count's full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball. That's going to get up the middle and through for a base hit. 1 run will come in to score. McKinney will stay at third, and that's 3 straight RBI singles by the Queens, and they now lead at 3-0. So Spingler scores. Securo to third. And Rayleigh McKinney at the plate now. 1 for 2 with a single. Last inning. Eighth batter of the inning for the Queens. As they try to continue their Cinderella run. And that's inside for a 4-pitch walk. So the bases are loaded once again for the Queens. And Gwen Hall will have another opportunity. She had the bases loaded in the third and had a fly out. A chance for immediate redemption here in the 4th inning. And could really put this one maybe on ice early. First pitch is inside for ball 1. Well, I say that, although the Queens yesterday had the biggest comeback in FGCL history in that 10-9 victory over the Circus in 8 innings. They trailed by 8 runs in that game. Ground ball through, base hit. 1 run will score. Here comes Fox. She will score as well. Hall takes second. And that's a 2 RBI single for Gwen Hall. And now the Queens have opened it up. They're up 5-0. So Securo and Fox score. McKinney's on third. Hall now on second. And the first pitch is fouled off by Keegan Mayhew, making her second at-bat of the inning. She singled and scored earlier in the inning, 1 for 2 on the day. Mayhew taking a minute after fouling that one off her foot. That's fouled away. No balls, 2 strikes. It's in the dirt and it gets past Massengale and scoring. On the wild pitch is McKinney. It is now 6-0 Queens.
pretend. Is that going to go down as ball?
And following the wild pitch, we will see a change in the circle for the Squeeze. The right-handed freshman out of Samford, Reese Hickey, takes the circle to replace Sarah Phillips, who looked great through 2 2/3. Got out of a jam in the third inning to end it, but then here in the fourth, the Queens got to her. In 3 2/3 innings, Phillips gave up 8 hits and 6 runs that are all earned. 2 walks and 2 strikeouts, and she is responsible for the runner on third base. This year, in the regular season for the Squeeze, Reese Hickey pitched 12 times, 33 2/3 innings, a 3-0 record, 28 runs allowed, 23 earned for a 4.78 ERA, 34 hits, 31 strikeouts, and 25 walks. Hickey pops this one up in foul ground, and Hickey comes in, gets the out to end it here in the fourth, but it was a big fourth inning for the Queens. They score 6 runs on 6 hits. There were no errors and 1 left. We head to the bottom of the fourth, 6-0. Queens with the lead. This is the FGCL. This is the playoffs. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning, the Queens with a 6-0 lead. Squeeze trying to answer back, and Madison Green start things off with a single on the first pitch of the fourth inning. Sophia Spangler back out now for her fourth inning of work, with Skylar Young at the plate now. 0 for 1 with a pop out. And she will be hit by that pitch. So in 2 pitches, the Squeeze have runners on first and second with nobody out as they try to answer the 6 runs scored by the Queens in the top of the fourth inning. All right, we have reached the what exactly is happening phase here of the quarterfinals. Over on field 2, they're now in the bottom of the third inning. The Finns have a 9-7 lead over the Slice. The regular season champion Slice down 9-7. The Finns have scored 2 runs in the first, 3 in the second, and 4 in the third. The Slice with 2 in the first and 5 in the second, and they're now batting in the bottom of the third inning in an absolute slugfest. Here, the number 12 seed Queens, after winning 2 games yesterday, have a 6-0 lead over the number 4 seed who had a bye yesterday, Squeeze. So we play in the bottom of the 4th inning, but the Squeeze now on the comeback trail. They have runners on first and second with nobody out. Eliza Johnson at the plate. Singled her first time. That pitch is outside. Ashley Trueweiler came out and had a couple of encouraging words for Spangler. Start seeing some of the Swashbucklers, Impact, Snowbirds, and Rivermocks show up for their matchups. Scheduled for a noon first pitch, but they may be waiting a little bit. The 2-2. One hopper to short, knocked down by Fox, and the throw will not be in time. So that's going to be the first error of the game by the Queens, and the bases are now loaded with nobody out. Here in the bottom of the 4th, Ariana O'Connell, the batter, she walked her first time. First pitch is a strike. O'Connell, a freshman at Illinois Chicago in 2026, where she started 50 games as a freshman for the Flames. Line to third, it's off of Sepsik's glove, and everyone will be safe. So that'll be an RBI single for O'Connell. Squeezer on the board. Now 6-1, and there's still nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th. Lizzie St. Jean, the batter. First pitch just misses outside for ball 1. St. Jean's 0 for 1, had a fly out her first time, and now we will see a pitching change for the Queens.
Okay.
So Spangler will give way to Avery Dockery. Dockery, the right-handed freshman out of Florida State. She redshirted with the Seminoles this past year. Combined playoff and regular season, Dockery now making her 15th appearance for the Queen. She's pitched 32 1/3 innings with a 3-1 record. 18 runs allowed, 15 been earned for a 3.25 ERA. 35 hits, 30 strikeouts, 18 walks. In the playoffs, Dockery has both the wins for the Queens in 8 innings. 5 runs allowed, 4 been earned, 3.50 the ERA, 10 hits, 6 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Got the start in game 1 against the Skeeters and re-entered and got the victory, getting the final out before the Queens walked it off in the bottom of the 7th inning. Also got the win in that 8-inning 10-9 affair over the Circus and the comeback victory for the Queens. 1-0 is the count on St. Jean. That's a strike, 1-1. The Queens scored 6 in the top of the 4th inning, and the Squeeze trying to respond big time here in the bottom. St. Jean takes that to left. That's down for a base hit. 1 run will score. Here comes Johnson. She will score as well. Now O'Connell is caught in a rundown, and she's going to be out at third. So Young comes in to score. That'll be an RBI single for St. Jean. Two runs come in. Young and Johnson both score. So that's a 2 RBI single, excuse me. And O'Connell is out at third. Segura with a fly ball. Left field, charging in and making the catch is Gwen Hall, and there's now 2 away. So a runner now on second with 2 outs for Elise Crescio, who's 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts. And that's going to get in the left center field gap and get all the way to the wall. St. Jean will come around to score, and standing on second is Crescio, and it is now 6-4. Hannah Evans now the batter. First pitch, that's fouled off for strike 1. Evans is 1 for 2, doubled in the first, had a fly out in the third. Chopper back up the middle, that's going to get through. Crescio comes home, and she's out at the plate. Perfect throw in from Van Meter in center, and the inning comes to an end with an out at home plate. But the Squeeze answer back here in the 4th inning. They get 4 runs. On 4 hits, there was 1 error and 1 runner left on base. We head to the 5th, 6-4. Queens on top. This is the FGCL. This is the playoffs. Well, 0 runs combined through 3 innings, and in the 4th inning we had 10 total runs. The Queens scored 6 and the Squeeze scored 4, so it's 6-4 as we head to the 5th. The final line for Sophia Spangler: 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned with a walk and a strikeout. For the Squeeze in the 4th inning, it was 4 runs, 3 earned on 5 hits with an error and a runner left. And Hope Jordan will re-enter the ball game and bat here to start things off in the 5th. Jordan struck out her first time. First pitch is inside for ball 1 from Reese Hickey, who threw one pitch in the 4th and got the final out of the inning. So in now for her first full inning of relief. Over on field 2, for the first time in a half inning, a team was held scoreless. The bottom of the 3rd, the Slice did not score, and the Finns have added to their lead. It's now 10-7. Finns top 4. As we see two teams trying to win their 3rd game in the playoffs over teams that had byes. Yesterday, the Squeeze, the number 4 seed, and the Slice, the number 1 overall seed and regular season champion, down to the Finns. Still a lot of softball to be played over there. That's outside for ball 4. Hope Jordan draws the walk. And Emery Ream is going to courtesy run for the catcher, Hope Jordan, on first. Ashlyn Van Meter at the plate. 1 for 2 with a single. Back in that 4th inning where the Queens sent 10 batters to the plate. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Didn't miss by much. 2-1. And that's low for ball 4. Now back-to-back walks. And Taylor Padel will come out, talk things over to Reese Hickey. Jamie Sepsic will be the batter with an opportunity. Runners on first and second. Nobody out here in the 5th. As the Queens are trying to re-extend their lead. Led it 6-0 after the top of the 4th inning. The bottom of the 4th saw the Squeeze answer back with 4. Had 2 outs made on the base paths. And Sepsic will be the batter. 0 for 1. She grounded out in the 3rd and walked and scored in the 4th. Ten combined runs in that 4th inning with 3 outs combined between the two teams on the base paths in that inning as well. Sepsic will square around a bunt and foul the first one off. See if the bunt stays on. Nope, swinging away now. So that one's inside, 1-1. 2 balls and a strike. Count moves to 3-1, and Hickey just has to find a strike here. Sepsic fouls that one off. Counts now full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff. Called strike 3. And a just gigantic first out for the Squeeze. With 1 out, that will bring up Avery Dockery getting her first at bat of the day. And she lines it to left, and that's going to get down and get all the way to the wall. Ream will round third. Here comes the throw. It's not going to come, actually. RBI double for Avery Dockery. And it's now 7-4. Queens with the lead. Takes the first pitch she sees into the left field corner. And that brings up Cassie Securo, who's 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a run scored. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Ground ball to short. Looking back the runner, they get the runner out at first, and safe on the slide is Van Meter. RBI ground out for Securo. And it is now 8-4. What a slide by Van Meter. Two out back to the top of the order, and Lauren Fox, who is 2 for 3 with 2 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. So now you have Dockery on third. More aggressive base running we've seen from both these teams, and it pays off this time for the Queens. Fox with a 1-hopper to short. Johnson makes the stop and the throw for out number 3 to retire the side, but the Queens get some runs back to extend their lead here in the 5th. 2 runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 left. We head to the bottom of the 5th as we stretch here on field 1, 8-4. Queens with the lead. This is the FGCL. This is playoffs. 8-4 Queens as we play here in the home half of the 5th inning. Brooke Massengill leading things off for the Squeeze here in the 5th. She grounded out, and then Madison Green with a ground out. And there's 2 outs now. For Skylar Young. Is Avery Dockery trying to keep the Squeeze where they are, down 4. First pitch swung on to miss for strike 1. Young is 0 for 1, popped out in the second, was hit by a pitch and scored in the 4th. She did not go around on the check swing. So developing situations both here on field 1 and over on field 2. As 2 teams that were in the bottom 4 and played in the opening round are in the lead, an opportunity to win their 3rd game in a day and a half and knock off 2 top 4 seeded teams here in the 9:30 window of the quarterfinals. That is a called strike 3. Young down on strikes, and the Squeeze go down in order here in the bottom of the 5th inning. We head to the 6th, 8-4. Queens on top. This is the FGCL. This is the playoffs. We head to the top of the 6th inning. The Queens with an 8-4 lead over the Squeeze. Due up for the Queens here in the 6th is 2-3-4, McKinney, Hall, and Mayhew. Against the 3rd pitcher of the day for the Squeeze, as Reese Hickey will turn things over to the righty Tori Payne. Reese Hickey went an inning and a third, gave up 1 hit and 2 runs that are both earned, 2 walks and a strikeout. Tori Payne, during the regular season for the Squeeze, pitched 11 times, 29 and 2/3 innings, had a 2-2 record, 20 runs allowed, 17 earned, 4.01 the ERA, 35 hits, 26 strikeouts, and 9 walks. And she will come in to try to keep the Queens where they are and give her offense an opportunity. Down 4. First pitch is outside for ball 1. To Rayleigh McKinney, who is 1 for 2 on the day. A fly out in the first, a single in the third, walked and scored in the 4th. Two 2-0 now the count. Payne, a freshman at UCF in 2026 from Wellington, Florida. So that swung on and missed. 2-1. For the Knights this past season, had a 2.98 ERA and 42 and a third innings pitched, 33 hits, 19 runs, 18 earned, 34 walks, and 12 strikeouts, a 4-1 record, including getting the win in their winner-take-all regional final victory over Florida State in Tallahassee. Swing and a miss. Counts full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Winner of this one will play the winner of the Slice and the Fins, coming up at 2:30 over on field 2. Ground ball to second. O'Connell makes a stop in the throw for the first out of the inning. Gwynn Hall now the batter. 1 for 3, had a 2 RBI single in the 4th. Things are far from over on field 2. They're going to the top of the 5th. The Fins with a 10-9 lead over the Slice. Hall will foul that away, 1-1. We always talk about in the FGCL that anyone can beat anybody and no lead is safe. And that has been just ratcheted up to 11 here in the playoffs. We've seen a variety. We've seen great pitching performances, some outstanding offensive performances by complete teams, the likes of which we did not see during the regular season. The 1-1 is low, 2 balls and a strike. For example, the Queens in the regular season scored 39 total runs. They've scored 28 in 2+ games here in the playoffs. And a little bit of that is you go to batting 9, you're not worrying about trying to get everybody equal plate appearances in the playoffs. That one's grounded to short. The stop made and the throw is in time, and there's 2 away. But more so here, it's just a different intensity and a different mindset. And as I said, the playoffs just a different animal. First pitch to Keegan Mayhew misses for ball 1. Mayhew 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored. Foul back, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on here in top of the 6th. Queens trying to add to their 8-4 lead. It'll be the River Mocs and the Snowbirds, 10 versus 2. Coming up next here on Field 1. We'll have it for you 30 minutes following the conclusion of this one. That's lifted to shallow right field. Now ranging back from second base is O'Connell. She'll make the grab for out number 3. And the Queens, for the first time since the second inning, go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We head to the bottom of the 6th. 8-4. Queens with the lead. This is the FGCL. This is the playoffs. Eliza Johnson leading things off for the Squeeze here in the bottom of the 6th. Avery Dockery back out in the circle for the Queens. 1 ball, 1 strike on Johnson, who is 1 for 2, singled in the 2nd. Reshawn Aaron scored in the 4th. Squeeze with 6 outs remaining, down 4. Trying to avoid the upset. Taya Charlton for the Fins. First is the ground ball to second. Sekiro's there, makes a stop in the throw for out number 1. Taya Charlton for the Fins. So far against the Slice, 4 for 4, 5 RBIs and 2 homers. As the Fins lead it now 12-9 over the Slice in the top of the 5th inning. Nina Passare will get her first at-bat of the day. Puts down the bunt, and it's perfectly placed. So an infield single on the bunt for Passare. Give the Squeeze a base runner, a 1 out. And that'll bring up Lissy St. Jean, who is 1 for 2 with a 2 RBI single and a run scored. Another bunt, that one's fouled off. The 0-1 is slap foul. 0-2. Slap back up to Dockery. She has it. Will make the throw to first to get the out. Runner to second. There's now 2 away. Dockery used the 6-foot frame there to keep that ball from getting past her. So runner on second, 2 outs. Now Lauren Faulkner getting her first at bat of the day. Faulkner, 6 of 27, batting .222 in the regular season. 5 runs scored, 11 runs driven in, a homer, 2 doubles, 4 walks, and a hit by pitch. Swung on and missed. Payoff pitch. Fouled off. We'll do it again. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to the runner on second. Squeeze. Trying to inch closer here in the bottom of the 6th. Bounces in for ball 4, and the wild pitch will allow Passare to reach third. So runners now on the corners with 2 outs. And back to the top of the order for the Squeeze, Elise Crescio, who is 1 for 3. That one was an RBI double in the 4th inning. Tying run on the on-deck circle for the Squeeze here with 2 outs in the 6th. First pitch bounces away, and the wild pitch, second straight wild pitch, will bring in a run, and it's now 8-5. And Ashley Truweiler is going to come out and talk things over with Avery Dockery. Part of that conversation is the new catcher for the Queens, Taylor Davidson. The 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes. And that's going to be a pass ball. Three 0 the count now on Crescio. Runner on third. 1 run's in here in the inning, but the Squeeze still trail it by 3. There's a strike, 3-1. There's 2 outs, so Dockery just looking to find that 1 out here in the 6th. That's fouled off. Just foul to the right of the first base bag. And the count's full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch. Fouled off. Dockery came in on the hands there, and the count's full again. It's a high chopper to short. Fox has it. Will throw to get the out and retire the side. So for the Squeeze here in the 6th, they do play to run. They get a run on one hit. There were no errors and one left. We head to the 7th inning, 8-5. Queens with the lead. This is CFGCL. We head to the 7th inning. Queens with an 8-5 lead over the Squeeze here in the quarterfinals. Queens trying to give themselves some more cushion before the Squeeze will have an opportunity in the bottom of the 7th to avoid the upset. First pitch to Taylor Davidson is popped up on a check swing for out number 1. So Davidson's first at bat of the day. A quick out. And that'll bring up Ashton Van Meter, who is 1 for 2, a fly out in the 2nd, a single in the 4th, walked and scored in the 5th. First pitch is a strike on Van Meter. Torrey Payne out for her 2nd inning of work. That's a foul ball. That's a fly ball to center. Cresho's there. She'll make the catch for out number 2. So 2 out, nobody on for Jamie Sepsic, who is 0 for 2, walked and scored in the 4th. Ground out in the 3rd, a strikeout in the 5th. The Squeeze will have 2, 3, 4 due up in the home half of the 7th. So a good part of the order for them to try to get a comeback. Squeeze trailed by as much as 6 in this game. It was 6-0 after the top of the 4th inning. Squeeze responded with 4 in the bottom of the 4th to get right back in it. And Sepsic will foul that one off her foot. Walk it off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two swung on and missed. 4 strike 3, and Tori Payne does what she was asked to do. 6 up and 6 down through 2 innings of relief. Keeps the Queens where they are. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning, the last chance for the squeeze. It is 8-5. Queens with the lead. This is the FGCL. This is the playoffs. We head to the bottom of the 7th inning, the last chance for the squeeze to avoid the upset. The Queens looking for their 3rd win in a day and a half. A spot in the semifinals on the line. Queens lead at 8-5. The first pitch to Hannah Evans is a called strike. Evans is 2 for 3 on the day. A double in the first, a fly out in the third, a single in the fourth. Avery Dockery in the circle for her 3rd inning of relief. Ground ball to short. Fox has it. The throw. It's going to be close. Out. And they're going to challenge the play at first. We're going to take a look. After further review, call is upheld. She's out. Squeeze her down to 1 challenge left. And Reagan Hickey will be the batter. Her first at bat of the day. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hickey in the regular season was 8 of 22, 364 the average. That's a fly ball. Now staying on the infield. Fox is underneath it. She'll make the catch for out number 2. And the Queens are 1 out away from continuing the Cinderella run. Madison Green, the last chance for the squeeze. And that's going to slice foul down the right field line. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now with the Queens. The 1-1. Fouled away. And the Squeeze are down to their final strike. The lowest seeded team to ever win the championship was a 6 seed. The Queens are the 12 seed, and they're a strike away from making it to the semifinals. The 1-2. Again fouled away. Another 1-2 pitch. Another foul ball. Another quarterfinal matchup coming up next here on Field 1. The River Mocs, the 2 seed, taking on the 10 seed Snowbirds at noon, or 30 minutes following the conclusion of this one. Dockery looks in. Another 1-2 pitch. Low and inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Another 2-2 now. Fouled off at the plate. Barely got a piece. The green stays alive. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Another 2-2. Another foul ball. Ninth pitch of the at-bat about to be thrown, but not before Ashley Trierweiler will come out and have a couple words for Avery Dockery. We have got an ACC battle here. Florida State Seminole against the Virginia Cavalier. The Cavalier trying to keep the Squeeze season alive. Dockery looks in. The 2-2 is in the dirt, and the count's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's popped up to deep second. Ranging back is Securo. She'll make the catch for out number 3. And the Queens roll on from the bottom 4 to the semifinals. Here in the 7th inning, the Squeeze go 3 up and 3 down. And your final score is Queens 8, Squeeze 5. With the win, the Queens advance to the semifinals. They're now 8-10 on the year, and the Squeeze end their season at 10-6. The winning pitcher is Sophia Spangler. The losing pitcher is Sarah Phillips. Final line score for today's game. For the Queens, 8 runs on 9 hits. There was 1 error and 5 left. For the Squeeze, 5 runs on 8 hits, no errors, 5 runners left on base. Again, your final score, Queens 8, Squeeze 5. Coming up next, it's another quarterfinal matchup between the River Mocs and the Snowbirds. That's coming up at noon, and coming up at 2:30 over on Field 2. The Queens will take on the winner of the Slice and the Fins, which is still currently underway over on Field 2. But that wraps up this broadcast. For everyone here at the FGCL, I'm Tom Canterbury. Thanks for joining us. The Queens continue the Cinderella run. They win it 8-5 over the Squeeze. Rivermocs and Snowbirds coming up next. Until then, I'm Tom Canterbury. Thanks for joining us, and good evening from Bradenton.